Okay. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback. Get this up only to about the 33. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Back to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback. Nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup. And now they've got a 3rd down and 8. Such a solid defensive effort a week ago, and they'll be looking to carry that forward into this one.
And confidence grows. Every time you have a great performance, you think the next one's going to be even better. That's where this defense is today.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs.
Let's go!
He completes it to Bryant. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
So the offense has it 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. All right, now look at 56.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
Here we go now.
And now here's a carry heading left. And gets by him, and now a little daylight. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And he goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. That's a matchup maybe they go back to their outer third of the field as this game continues.
Yeah, I think back to my high school coach, John Ford. He used to say when we got big plays early in a game or good plays, he'd always say, foul it away, lad, foul it away, because he'd want to come back to it later in a key situation. They may come back to this one a little more often than that.
Didn't he say laddie or did he say lad?
Yeah, it just depended on what he was feeling at the moment.
Okay, I thought that was the guy you told me about. These say laddie a lot.
Laddie, when you heard laddie, he was usually in a pretty good mood. Lad,
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So on 4th down, as seen on TV, here's their resident strongman, John Ryan, on to punt. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
Over the middle, complete. It's Terry. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, and for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Out of the gun now on third down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he showed some fancy footwork on the juke, but then quickly taken down. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And, you know, their previous possession, they were able to move the football, but still wound up punting in the end.
You know, in 2016, Carolina had a 20-play drive that lasted over 10 minutes. And remember how it ended?
In a punt.
Yeah, I mean, how does that happen? You just don't see that happen every day.
And this one maybe not quite that bad, but still, you'd like to have a chance for points if you hold the football that long.
Agreed.
Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there at 22.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his third catch here in the first quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
And maybe a little of both. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be knocked down sideways. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step.
Here we go now.
Back to throw here. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Here's John Ryan now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Cardinals.
And this is their third drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. But I think a Cardinal was able to gain possession, yes, so they will hold on to the ball. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, there's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
I know they want to go for it here, and I know that their fans want them to go for it, but listen, I'm going to play head coach right here and look at the facts. Tie game, plus, even if you get the first, you still got a half a field to go. I'll go ahead and punt the football myself.
So they're challenging the spot. If you're a coach, you hesitate to throw the flag anytime it's a spot discernment.
You certainly do, because you feel like that's not one you're likely to win, and you may need that challenge flag for later in the game.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
They're going to look to throw. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They run the counter now on first down. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. So he runs it for 1 yard, then no gain. I don't know that you go back to that well here on 3rd down.
Yeah, I don't know that you do as well, but if you want to get the ball to him, if you want him to have it, maybe get him into space and throw it to him.
He'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And now out is the Cardinal field goal team here. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Bryant. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll look to throw here. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They'll set up to throw. Out left side here to Bryant. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Looking to throw. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with Larry Ridley for highlights and analysis of our first half of play. Now, not too many highlights yet, at least in terms of scoring plays, that is.
Yeah, but hang in there. We might get something these last 2 minutes.
He'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Bryant. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. They'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll look to throw again. That escapes the sack. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now 3rd and goal. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
The offense on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and goal.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here, losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best torch, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop him with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Terry. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. The Cardinals on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
All right, here we go.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They'll throw now on the final play. Floating one, incomplete. So we are at halftime here on Halloween, as we will send you eastward to Orlando and Larry Ridley. He's standing by with our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Larry.
All right, Brandon, we'll see if I can get through this without being skipped as we welcome you to our EA Sports halftime report. Both the Seahawks and the Cardinals are not doing much on the ground, and it's easy to see why that would play into this low-scoring game. We'll have to see if either team gets it going on the ground in the second half. All right, let's roll those highlights. Seahawks with the ball midway through 1. Offensive line won't be able to hold up here. This goes for a loss of 9. Third down from inside the 40. Defense will win the battle and get the sack. This will go as a loss of 10. Late in the second. Defense will get to the quarterback here. This will go as a loss of 10. Still late stages of the second. Here the pass would be completed into coverage, and he capped off the long drive with the TD as they get out to a 7-0 lead.
Okay, Larry, back here, 7-0 our score as we ready ourselves for this second half. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
The Seahawks on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Here we go.
They'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. Offense lining up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10.
All right, here we go.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
But, has that changed in a big way? The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Here we go now. Blue landed.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
And down inside the 15 he goes. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
So they're operating in the red zone.
All right, here we go.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. They'll set up a throw. Throw left side complete. It's Bryant. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A good sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice two-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Extra point attempt to come here. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk.
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Back to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Lets this one rip toward Graham. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
They'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because What you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
The Seahawks on third down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is third down and 12.
Set. Blue landing. Blue landing.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this is incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Here we go. 3-19.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
Partner, I know the ball security is preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done.
The Cardinals on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and it's got some hang time to it. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, Ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
A solid gain of 15 yards in the sticks move. Fresh set of downs here. They go play action here on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 32 that time.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth and final quarter. They'll look to throw here on first down. And he's got some space here. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
First seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So it'll be first down here after the run. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead, fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Back to throw here. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
And it is now 21-0. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Green, 39. Green.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And on second and 10 now. Incomplete. The Cardinals on third down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go now.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 16 on the pickup. And the Cards are going to have a first down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
They're going to look to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. He'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Ellis. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Tell you what, Brandon, if I see a dime look, if I see 6 defensive backs near the goal line, I'm changing to a running play every time.
And they had 6 there. Surprised he didn't audible at the line?
Very much so.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals.
4th and goal, and they found a way to throw it in the end zone for a touchdown.
And these defenses, they just like 3 downs, get off the field. But here they had to go 4, couldn't get it done.
A lot of the time, you're looking up and saying, okay, if I hold them for 3, at worst, I give up a field goal attempt. When they go for it, sometimes it really affects the defense because maybe they're not mentally prepared to go that 4th down.
It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. Going to give this time to the tailback. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Cardinals got to go quickly, hustling to the line. They'll look to throw here. His throw incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here. That looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
All right, here we go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. A gain of 19 on 3rd and 18, and that'll move the chains. Looking to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play. He'll look to throw, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. He'll set up to throw, and he whips that one incomplete there.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran now a nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is in running back drop.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's got it. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down.
Let's go. 3-39.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Snags it for the pick, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Seattle now ready to march out of the field. 2 timeouts remaining defensively, but that shouldn't make much difference right here.
It really shouldn't, but a lot of coaches look at it similar to baseball with the intentional walk.
Always bringing in other sports.
Always, hey, listen, think about the intentional walk, right? What if one gets past the catcher? What if he uncorks a wild one and now you still have an opportunity? That's why they like to use them all the way through.
Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Second down following the run. Now a handoff here to his running back. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Seahawks, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Arizona, the loss will drop them to 6-2 now on the year. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.